Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 5 of Crusader Kings 2. My dog is growing quickly and it's no longer a little puppy. He runs as fast as a keen horse and your dog handlers praise his good character. Gain 10 prestige, very nice. So we've managed to change our succession law. We are now primogeniture. We would like to try and take some of the other counts and duchies that are around. Unfortunately, we're struggling a little bit because our Chancellor isn't exactly the best person around. He does have a 8% chance yearly of fabricated acclaim, which is not brilliant, to be quite honest. I want to see about getting a better Chancellor. We could pick this guy who's got 13, but it's still not great, really. We might just have to leave him for the time being. We'll certainly keep our eye on any potential method of pushing another claim. We did have a claim on Durham. We'll double check in a minute and see what we've got. I had to break up a fight between my son Wolfmer and another child today. Wolfmer's heart is filled with envy. The other children are just selfish. He would gain the trait envious, which gives him more intrigue but less diplomacy. Not really what you want for someone who's going to be your heir. I think intrigue is useful, but it's better on the wife. We could beat some respect into him, where there's a 40% chance he will lose the envious trait. We could talk to him about kindness, which gives him a 50% chance to gain the trait kind, which would be nice because that would lose intrigue, but he'd gain diplomacy and vassal opinion. And that's the reason why you want your heir to have high intrigue, high vassal opinion. Or we can tell him that envy is the deadliest of the sins. There's only a 20% chance he'll lose the trait. Let's talk to him. We've been successful every other time so far, and we have been again. He's gained the kind trait. He's actually doing quite well now. He's getting quite a lot of positive traits. It's just a shame that he's weak, but things are generally going well with him. So, if I wanted to attack Durham, I can declare war. I do have a CB. We do have a claim on Durham, and it is for the Chancellor of Bedford. So, our Chancellor actually has a claim. And out of interest, who is your liege? And you are in turn my liege. So we could potentially claim Durham here. If we were to go to war with you, for example, how many men could you field? 1,300. And how many men could I field? 1,900. Not, well, at the moment, 1,600. So not a huge deal of difference in it. So that could be a very, very risky thing to try. Of course, we could get mercenaries. That's definitely a possibility. However, we haven't had a good war in a while, and we really need to do something about that. So I'm going to just take the speed down a little here. We are going to go ahead and we will declare this war, because we can do. We're going to go ahead and do that. We're instantly going to go and raise up all of our vassals. We'll gain them all together and put them into a single province, because it's much safer to move around with one big army than several small ones. I crave solitude. I no longer seek the company of others. And I lose the trait gregarious. That's a little bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Now remember, we don't have to necessarily go and engage all of his troops. All we really have to do is take Durham and a few sort of other places. So we'll certainly think about doing that. We'll wait until we've got our army consolidated. Now, we should have more men than he does. Worst case scenario, we do have a little bit of money in the bank. We can afford to get ourselves some mercenaries. So let's go and group these guys together. We do have people on every flank. Let's start moving into York. Now, I'm not sure where his army is or how big his army is. We should theoretically have more men. And as long as we're careful about where we attack, we should be fine. We want to try and siege out Durham first. Get some levy reinforcements. One thing I failed to do, which was absolutely stupid of me, is I didn't check his allies. Luckily, he doesn't have any. So we are good there. Do we have more levies that we could raise? Or were we already at max? Yeah, we're already at max. Like I said, we could hire... He does actually have more men than us. So what we're going to do is we are going to hire some mercenaries. Now, we don't want to spend a lot of money. We only have 316 gold. And mercenaries also have a monthly hire cost. So we're going to sort by cost in descending order. We've got the Lombard band for 150. 10 gold monthly. They're not too bad. And what is your leader like? Morale damage, good. Impaler martial infantry. Sure, not too bad, actually. And you're quite cheap. So let's go ahead and we'll hire these guys. Now, they don't start with full morale. But we will move them in straight the way because it'll just bolster up the numbers, which will really reduce the likelihood that they're going to come and attack me. And it gives chance for their numbers to increase. So it'll take him a little while to get there. Right, yeah, he was just about to move in. He'd waited until his morale was at full. And then he thought about it and suddenly realised, hang on a minute, this guy's got more men. So we're just going to sit here for a little while. We'll wait until we've actually managed to siege out Durham. And then when we've done that, we'll see if we can jump on to Cumberland here. We should be okay. There is a river crossing between Cumberland and Durham, which is weird, even though you can't see it. The bishop is doing well. The bishop will join King Unstable of Mercia in his own offensive wars. My dear friend, I fear that war might drag you away from me longer than necessary, and thus I felt there might be something I could do. So please accept my help and let's win this war together. Your loyal friend. Ah, okay. So it's just basically opinion changing. Some of the events are quite interesting. I haven't seen all of them yet, and I don't really understand what all of them do. And every now and then you see something a little bit new and different. So it won't be long before we get this. Like I said, if we go and attack Cumberland, we will take the river crossing, but we should be okay. We're not going to keep the mercenaries around for a long time, because they do cost us money. And we've almost sieged out that province. We have now. Only 5% war score for doing that. That's because he has a massive army. Now, this could be risky, attacking across the river, but we'll see what happens. We do have almost 1,000 men more than his army. So, we may be okay. And once we can get his army to break down, I mean, we've just done a massive blow there. We've completely, almost completely decimated his army. We will chase them around. We'll try and completely destroy them if we can. And we did manage to do that. So he's only got 2 men there. Those 2 men aren't going to do anything. I don't think he's going to be able to reliably raise his men again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off the special... no, I'll wait a little bit. I was going to say at this point, I'll split off the mercenaries and disband them. The problem I have is that I spent 150 to hire them, and if I have to rehire them, then it's 150 that I have to spend again. Whereas I could keep them for 15 months for the same price, so we'll just see what happens. So we've gained 50 economic technology points. Random event, basically, where our steward has several contacts. So basically, it's just a random event where you get some extra tech, which is nice. That'll help things along greatly. Oh, and another 50. Wow, that's really bumping up our economy tech there. We could actually get level 2 castle infrastructure, which would be really nice, because then we could get Castle Town 3. And you can get a lot of extra tax by doing that. Also, as well, just looking there, we could go for siege equipment and cavalry and heavy infantry. Let's get all of those. It'll all help us in this battle. Particularly siege equipment, because the siege equipment technology increases your siege speed and your siege defense. Yeah, I don't think that they can realistically field a very big army here. My son is a charitable little rascal. He just gave his newest toy to the smith's son. I don't mind that at all. Gives him a lot of extra diplomacy. And yeah, let's just let him keep that. No problem with that at all. Good opinion modifiers there. Let's split off. Wow, so much happening. My daughter is turning into an arrogant little braggart. And I might have to rein her in a bit. This is the one that is... Oh no, she's not betrothed yet, is she? We'll definitely marry her into somewhere. Monthly prestige, there's nothing wrong with that. Humble, monthly piety. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being proud. What it might be worth doing, I've just paused the game here just to make this easier. We're just going to have a look at old... the king has dead. Good English there. The king has dead. The king has died, I believe. King Drogo of West Francia. Yep, Charlemagne has died. Died a maimed cripple at the age of 40. You're the one that is betrothed to my son. Okay, that's fine. And you have a... Right, are you married? No, you are not. So how about I offer a betrothal between yourself and my daughter? And you would accept that as well. You definitely wouldn't accept matrilineal. But it now means that my daughter is going to be married to the King of Francia. Now, that doesn't help me directly, because any of their children are going to be his lineage, not mine. But it does mean that I have somebody who likes me, or will have somebody that likes me, inside the French court, which could be useful. We've finally managed to get that CB on Gloucester. It'll cost us 50 gold and 100 prestige. We're going to push it. We're going to use it. Just going to quickly pause the game at this point. Have a quick look and see who I need to butter up. And it's this guy, the Count of Bedford. So let's move my Chancellor into Bedford to try and improve some relations there. We are going to start to run out of money very, very soon. So let's do what I was about to, which is split off the mercenaries. I want to select the mercenary band, which is this one here. We'll just quickly march them over into this province just to wipe out this army. And then we will disband the unit. Yeah, that's the right one. So these are my guys. Or at least these should be my guys. Yeah, the Army of King Unstable. They are the levies. Yeah. So we'll continue to just do a few sieges over here. We'll just unpause the game again. We'll continue to do a few sieges until we get to 100%. Then we can take Durham. So as you can see now, he's pulled a few more units, but most of his levies are dead, so he's not going to be able to do anything. Up to 93%. We could probably just go around... Actually, let's go in here and kill a few more troops. So we're not going to get up to 100% doing that, but it's easier to siege somewhere that has a smaller garrison than somewhere with a larger garrison. So we'll just leave that until it's finished. We'll be fine, and then we'll drop the levies for a little bit just to let them recover, because of course we are getting this these penalties with our vassals because the levies have been raised too long. And then we can go and attempt to capture Gloucester. It would be nice to get... We've got a little bit of money coming in now. And what we certainly want to do, as soon as we can afford it, is go into Leicester, because of course that is now our sort of highest earner. Go in here, and when we can afford it, get Castletown too, because that will give us another +2 to our tax income. It does cost 175 gold just to get there in the first place, though, so it's a little bit problematic. Just watching this guy, because he's trying to unsiege what we've already done. What do we want to do? Do we want to give her Zealous? It'll give her Martial, or... Do we want her to be zealous or not? Guess it doesn't really matter. Just let her do whatever. She's not going to be our problem at the end of the day. Let's let this siege carry on. Oh, we've paused again. So that siege should be finished very, very soon. You're actually moving out of there now. You're breaking that siege. I don't think he's going to attack. They've got another war going on up there anyway, but we're at 100%. So we're going to offer peace. We're going to enforce our demands. He loses 100 prestige. War has ended. Vassal inheritance warning. Now, that should be... Yeah, it hasn't actually gone directly to us. And this is one of the things that's a bit complicated, because this guy now no longer has a liege. He did have a liege, but because he had a claim on it, it's now his separately. However, he may be willing to accept a vassalization. It's actually classed as a distant realm, which is really bloody weird because it's only one province away. Oh, actually looks like he's been vassalized in... Yeah, so that was a complete waste of time. So the instant he took it, he actually got vassalized by Northumberland, or Northumbria, which was a complete waste of time. But, you know, you live and learn. So basically what he was, the guy that had a claim on this province was the vassal of a vassal. So I thought if he gets the count here, he will still be a vassal of a vassal. But of course he wasn't, because the moment he got a claim, the moment he actually became the count, he was no longer my vassal's vassal. You can't be a count and be the vassal of a count. So he became independent. And then when he became independent, Northumbria just offers him vassalisation, which he took because obviously he's in the de jure Duchy of Northumbria. So that was a real pain in the arse. Let's go ahead and drop the levies. Still, it's good practice. Good practice for fighting. Do we want to go after the white stag? Yeah, we can do. We might want to consider changing our focus again at some point. We'll also probably consider holding another feast soon as... is it September or is it October? I can never remember. Oh, do we not have the option anymore? Oh, no, of course. It's because we've gone after the... we've actually gone after the stag. So we won't be there. Wow. 20% chance that we're going to get stressed, or a 20% chance that we're going to get wrath. Wrath would give us more martial. We would lose a bit of intrigue and diplomacy. Stressed's quite nasty because it affects your fertility and health. Looks like we got none, which is nice. We got neither. Too late now to hold... No, we can still hold the feast, I think. Yep, there we go. November. Let's hold the feast. And what we could also consider doing now is we could change our focus and put it onto something like theology. That will give us higher temple vassal opinions, and we can go and do a pilgrimage, and that will help with that. Spend enough food for everyone's hunger. Invite people. Have we actually lost Diplo? No, we are quite high in Diplo and stewardship. We're actually shaping up to be quite a good leader, and we're only 49, which is quite nice. Welcome to my feast. Not sure if there are any people that won't turn up. There we go. We've got our old man face now because we've just hit 50. So again, do we do this thing where we like to flirt, or whether we, you know, which one do we want to do? Do we want to get a lover? We've already got enough children. Of course, there's every chance that one of these could die, which is horrible when it happens, but it does indeed happen. Who are you? You are the wife of my Chancellor, and I'd rather not upset him, so we'll leave things as they are for now. I don't think we need to worry about having a lover. There we go. It was a pretty uneventful feast, but we got some modifiers with everybody. There are many mysteries in the Catholic faith. It might be interesting to spend some time delving into the old texts of the Bible. So I can either gain 20 piety, or I can lose 5 piety. I think I will, let's see, gain 20 piety. Why would anyone ever pick the other option? The Pope still doesn't like me, for some strange reason. So even if I request money, he's going to go neb off. Yeah, it doesn't like me at all. The Pope is pretty much... I mean, look, I could get 134 ducats from him. The Pope is always loaded. Although at the minute he's only got 360, but... I've seen games where the Pope has like thousands and thousands of gold. He gets very rich very quickly. Do we have any claims on anything at the moment? Oh, yes, we have that claim on Gloucester, don't we? We should certainly think about pressing that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. There we go. Of course, these events we're now getting, of course, because we've picked the theology focus, which is why we're getting these white borders, because obviously that's the learning colour. So we gain 20 piety, and we get ancient wisdom until 30th of May 789, which is a few years. Gives us +1 learning. And we get religious studies until the end of the game, which gives us +1 learning. So that's quite nice. We should certainly go ahead and try and grab Gloucester. I think we can. How much of an army could you field at this point? Probably not a lot. 496, so say 500 men. How much of an army could I field at this point? Almost 2,000, so it's definitely worth going for this. Let's just slow it down by 1. We're going to go in here and declare war because we want to claim Gloucester. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. So we'll do that. We will go and instantly raise all of our levies. We will get them together in Warwick, just because I don't want him to just rush in and dive on this small stack. He might try it, but I think we'll be alright. We'll wait until a few people get in. Auto-saving, of course, because I set the game to auto-save quite regularly. We'll dive in with the main stack, and this smaller stack can sort of come in afterwards and sort of join. Oh, you've actually moved straight out there, have you? Well, that's fine. I doubt you'll move out of there. We should be able to catch you. Yep, let's move everybody in. Should be able to win this fight nice and easily. And we have indeed. We've also managed to capture somebody along the way. Let's just run into Gloucester. We should be able to catch the rest of their army and finish those guys off. We have done. Already up to 74% war score. So we just have to wait now for the siege. Let's group those guys together. While that's going on, let's just have a quick look in the prison, because we do have 2 known prisoners. We caught this girl here in Mercia. We can't really ransom her off. We could ransom this guy for 10 gold. Not really worth it. I think we'll let this girl go because we don't really need her. And, you know, this is only... How old was she? 14. Don't really think it was her problem. She was just an innocent bystander. I'm not a heartless ruler. So we'll let her go. I know we're over the 20-minute mark now, but what I would like to do before I end this video is just finish this war. Now, again, it will put us over our domain limit, but what we can do, if we just look at the de jure duchies, is that should all be part of the, I think it's pronounced Hwice? H-W-I-C-C-E, bit of a weird name, the Hwice Duchy. What I can do here, and this will be quite fun, is we're already trying to butter up relations with the Count of Oxford. What we can actually do is give him that province there. Now, when we get to a point where we can become the King of England, which we will get to do, we're at 100% here, so we're going to go ahead and enforce our demands. So we go and get that. That now means that our domain is too big, which we appreciate. We're going to go straight away and drop our levies, so we don't get the penalty. So what I'm going to do is I will give Gloucester to the Earl of Oxford. So grant landed title, County of Gloucester, include lower titles. There we go. Now what he could do now is what we should have is we should instantly now have a claim on Wiltshire. And if we look up here, one title can be created. The following titles can be created: the Duchy of Hwice. Now we don't want to create that duchy, because if we create that duchy, then we could be the Duke of Hwice. You can have 2 duchies. If you look at the moment, we actually only have 1 duchy, which is the petty kingdom of Mercia. So we could be the Duke of Mercia and we could be the Duke of Hwice. You wouldn't want to give that duchy to somebody else, because if you did, then they would be the same rank and they would become independent. So I don't want to make the Count of Oxford and the Count of Gloucester. I don't want to make this guy the Duke of Hwice. If I did that, it would be very, very bad, because this land wouldn't be mine. However, Hwice is made up of 3 de jure counties, including Wiltshire, which we don't currently own. But if we actually create the duchy, which we should be able to afford to do, maybe we can't quite yet, we don't have quite enough money, but we need to control 51% of its de jure counties, and we do. We own 67% of its de jure counties. Once we actually create the Duchy of Hwice, we will then instantly get a claim on Wiltshire, because Wiltshire is part of this duchy. So we'll be able to go ahead and attack Wiltshire then. So that is going to be a very, very good thing, but we're going to leave it there. Before we do, how much more do we need in order to create the kingdom? Let's just have a quick look at that. So the Kingdom of England would require to hold at least 2 duchy titles. It does cost a fair bit of coin as well, 324 gold, but we could quite happily borrow that from the Jewish merchants if we needed to. So we need at least 2 duchy titles, and we need to control 51% of its de jure counties. We currently only control 37, but we are getting there. So we're going to need a fair bit of money and a few more counties, but I think we can do that without too much of a bother. Either way, at the end of this video, everything's worked out pretty nicely. We've managed to take another little piece of land there. Most of our vassals, I think, are relatively happy with me. I hate a left click moves the whole window. But yeah, all of my vassals appear relatively happy with me. So far, after 5 videos, I'm pretty pleased with how it's going. I think it's been a bit of an achievement. And yeah, we're well on our way to forming the Empire of Britannia. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying Crusader Kings 2. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.